Hi everyone, I'm Anne-Marie. Welcome to the Hello Basque YouTube channel. This channel is all about the Basque Country and Basque culture, and lately I've been on a real big kick on making videos about the Basque language, which means I've been doing some research on the Basque language. And in my research, I've come across quite a few Irish articles and Irish blogs comparing the Basque language and some of the successes they've had in increasing the use of their minority language in the Basque Country compared to the Irish language in Ireland, and what they're doing to promote their minority languages within their respective countries. So I want to talk about some of those articles I've read today. Not because I want to sit here and say one language is better than the other, and I'm definitely not making this video with the intention to pretend that I'm some sort of expert on minority languages and their promotion within Europe. Like, that's not me at all. But more, I want to share with you some information that I read online, and I hope to start a discussion with people who know more about this topic than I do in the comments and learn from you guys, because reading a couple blog articles here and there, like, it's interesting, but I want to know more. So let's talk a little bit about the Basque language and the Irish language and how they're promoted within their respective countries. So both minority languages are taught in schools to kids, but also they do have some adult education programs to them. Now, what I've read online, and this is where I'm like, I don't know how true this is, but I've read that the Irish language is oftentimes mostly taught as like a subject in school, like a 1 hour per day subject, and the rest of education is mostly done in English, whereas in the Basque Country, there's more options for full Basque immersion education, where all of your subjects, math, science, whatever, is being taught in Basque. So it's not just like a 1 hour class. People have told me that in some parts of the Basque Country you can choose, like you can do an all Spanish education system, you can do all Basque, you could do all French, or like a hybrid of the two. So it seems like in the Basque Country there might be more options for this depending on where you are. Again, I'm not 100% sure on this, so if you are in Ireland or in the Basque Country and you want to share your experience, please let us know in the comments. When it comes to adult education as well in Basque and in Irish, I've read that there's a bit of a difference in how those programs are structured. In the Basque Country, there's like one central organization that is in charge of adult education classes, and they have standardized exams that kind of provide benchmarks for your learning. Whereas what I've read, Irish adult language programs are a little more decentralized, if you will. It's more individual organizations in different places kind of doing their own things, and there's not kind of the same standard level of curriculum, standard level of examinations. And this isn't something I ever really gave much thought to, but one article I read by an Irish author was saying that this does make a difference in how perhaps effective adult education is, or how accessible adult education is in Ireland versus the Basque Country. But also the interesting thing about the Basque language is that there's more of an economic incentive for some people to learn it, because the Basque government, which does not cover the entire Basque Country, but for 3 provinces of the historic 7 Basque provinces, there is a Basque autonomous government, and for most government jobs, they do require people to have a level of proficiency in Basque. So this means that in order to get a job, people would have to take these courses, pass the exams to a certain level to prove that they speak Basque to a certain extent. Now, I've also read that some people just take the class for the exam to get the job, and that doesn't really mean that they speak Basque ever in their life, but the point is that they had to sit their butt in class as like a job training and have to learn this language to a certain extent, or at least understand it to a certain extent, and that there is like a monetary incentive to people trying to move up in these government careers to do so. Whereas from what I've read, Irish doesn't have that. So correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've read, in Ireland, to get a government job, you're good just speaking English. There's no requirement that you speak or understand the Irish language to get a job. And so from the articles that I've read on this topic, like that seems to be like the big distinction between Basque and Irish, is that Basque, to a certain extent, there is a financial motivation for some people, and the government creates this sort of expectation that Basque language is to be used in civic society. Whereas Irish, again, from what I've read, is oftentimes mostly reserved to the classroom, or if you tend to live in a more rural Irish-speaking area or an Irish-speaking family, like you will speak Irish in your community, but like outside, like at work or anything, it's like very rare that you would use it. And so these articles I've read, they tend to argue that Basque has been more successful in getting younger people to speak Basque outside of the classroom because there's more of a social element to the Basque language. There's different areas of society where it can be used more, perhaps, than in Ireland. So I just think it's interesting that I've read arguments from Irish people basically saying that they wished that Ireland had more maybe social groups connected to the promotion of the Irish language, like nights out or like social clubs, societies where people will come together and actually speak Irish with each other because it's not so common in everyday society. And so they've said that that's where Basque is a bit stronger and has had more success in getting people to use the language outside of school. So I guess there's more social opportunities in the Basque Country, depending on where you are, to speak Basque outside of the classroom, and in some cases even at your workplace. I feel like I'm coming across preachy, but like I don't really have an opinion either way because, well, I'm just learning about this topic. I'm just repeating for you kind of some of the things that I've read online. And so this is more of an invitation to you, the viewer. If you have strong opinions about this, like let me know in the comments. Like, do you find that it's true that in Ireland there are not very many opportunities for people to speak Irish outside of school? Because I've read accounts of people saying that they speak fluent Irish because they learned in school, and that they could know somebody for years only speaking English to them to finally found out that that other person also spoke fluent Irish, but it just like never came up. Like they never crossed that line into speaking Irish with each other. And that's something I find really interesting because I feel like all the people I know who speak Basque, like they're gonna start with Basque or they're gonna mention it, like they're gonna find a way to like figure out whether you speak Basque or not and then like make that transition. At least that's been my experience when I go to the Basque Country. That's like the first question, like, do you speak Basque? Even if people speak perfect English, like they don't care. They wanna know if I speak Basque. So those are just a few of the things that I've read about the Irish language versus the Basque language and how these minority languages are promoted in their countries. I hope that didn't come across as totally ignorant. Maybe it did. But I really do like to use my YouTube channel not only to share information with other people, but also to reach people who know about topics I'm interested in and who know way more about them than I do, so that maybe we can have a discussion and you guys can teach me some things. Because I just think it's really interesting whenever I Google like Basque minority language, every once in a while these articles written by Irish people come up. It's, from what I've seen, always Irish people analyzing the Basque language and how it's been promoted in the Basque Country and trying to learn from what they're doing differently than what's going on in Ireland. There seems to be a connection historically, some people say genetically, like I don't know, between the Irish and the Basques. So I guess it makes sense that the Irish are looking to the Basques, and in some contests the Basques are looking to the Irish for answers. So maybe we can help each other out and learn some things from each other. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos about the Basque language and the Basque Country, please subscribe to the Hello Basque YouTube channel and stay in touch. I will see you in the next video. Bye.